Good morning, folks. How are you? It is a good day despite these fucking demons. The let's see if I can get this. With me a second, folks. All right, all right. Almost didn't get here in time. So I'll go over everything real quick, and then I'll tell you what happened this morning. It's kind of exciting a little bit, actually. All right, so we had CPI number come out. Price ran up into and just fell short of that lower quadrant, that daily suspension block we've been watching. Okay, so that's interesting how CPI couldn't even get to it. So what we're going to see is the no the low rather of the news right in here. There's liquidity underneath that, and then we have these over here, and we have an old regular trading hours opening range gap high. So I'm going to see if there's any interest in trying to get down to that. I'm not trying to say we're going to sell off. I'm just saying that it could go down here and take that liquidity. This morning, I'll be watching for that. I did a little blinking. Scroll back here. Over here, there was a inefficiency I liked here. We used it there. So if we're gonna get above it, like we do here, treat it as inversion. So accumulated that, added to it, added to it. Put a little heat against these singles, but it was still in play. And here, terrible slippage gets me out at 325. So just about 200 handles planking around. Had to get my toe in the water before the close of the week. Hmm. A little less than, we got 20 seconds now. Let's see real quick. Regular trading hours, 236 or so. So we have a premium gap opening. See if it wants to take that high. I'll be in a rush this morning. Again, what I'm focusing on here, just for the read, and see if there's any interest to get down to that. Again, premium gap opening. Right there. So there's your consequent encouragement. So we go back in regular trading hours. I'm sorry, electronic trading hours. So it looks like they want to swipe that. That low right here sits right at regular trading hours opening range midpoint or consequent encouragement. Still got time before 10 o'clock. Never willing to chase after a CPI number. And it was kind of weak actually for what I would expect. Only 100 handlers was not even really 100 handles. Hmm. Quick look at MES. It's ugly. Oh, look at Dow. Dirty hooker. It's in a hurry to take its CPI low. That's my market, ICT. Don't talk about my woman. I know some of you love the Dow. I don't like it. So already we can see some decoupling. Okay, decoupling is when the averages do not agree. It always causes a little bit of difficulty, not impossible, but causes a little bit of difficulty. Waiting to see if they take that high here. And again, these levels here, this, all these are the gradient levels from the regular trading hours opening range gap. There's a high taken. So I'd like to see it really give up the ghost here and kind of like capture anyone that would have used this high as a breakout. Clean lows here. That's suspect all the time as well. There's no interest in my part wanting to chase it, go higher from here. If it did, it would go without me. I wouldn't participate in it. I'm more interested in them getting back down into opening range gap. This is the opening range gap high. It's the wrong color. I'm sorry about that. It's just a sell side liquidity pool and sell side resting right below here. So you have several things here going for mid gap. You got sell side there, mid gap, that low, and then we have the sell side here on any acceleration on the downside. So let's take real quick one more time, pass through the ES, SMT divergence, failure swing on ES, NQ was able to go higher, MNY. Oh, look at that. She's giving it up. Giving it up. Buy the cow. You get the milk for free, right? It should have no problem getting below these lows now. See this gap right here? I'm watching that one. I want to see if the body's in any retracement like it's shown here. If it can stay inside of that and then break lower, that's very constructive for lower prices. This is the fair value gap right before this high gets taken out, viewing it through 1 minute. Presented is here. We're inside that now. So SMT divergence ran out the CPI high, CPI low is still intact, and it's inside of and right at the consequent correction or midpoint of the opening range gap this morning. Yes, Dow have not followed suit with this rally up on NQ. So again, as I mentioned, I'm not interested in chasing it long. So if it wants to go higher, have at it. You'll do it without me. Not on a Friday, folks. This is actually a really good experience for some of you newer folks. You're getting to see what complex market structure looks like when there is a decoupling across the three averages. Trading is a whole lot easier and price action is a whole lot cleaner when all three averages are in agreement. But sometimes they just don't want to do it. And you have to be very cautious when it does that. So first presenter fair value gap is here. But then that gap, what's to the left of it? Wick. So the wick is the real gap. So you would do this. Now what do you see? Failure to get to the high. Body stay below consequent encouragement. It should run for these sell side lows here. There's a there's an opinion out there that make sure I get the wording correct. That check MES real quick. That's sloppy. IM should be still, yeah, it still fell off good. MNQ. But there's a myth out there that there's no such thing as liquidity sweeps, and you just watch that happen again. I don't know what to tell you. So see the difference between first presenter fair value gap and the wick next to it? Still drawing lower. We still have mid gap, which is these old eyes of mine. 25,275.75. So as long as we remain below the rejection block, which is this up close candles closing price, as long as we remain below that, it should stay heavy. That means taking out CPI's low and consequent encroachment. That's in play. Unless that's taken out to the upside, and that means just trading through it. If it trades through that, then I'm going to close my interest on this session and wish you all a very pleasant weekend. This right here needs to act as an inversion. I must have dragged my my little things around here wrong. There's no liquidity sweeps. That's the lifeblood of the market. What are you talking about? You need liquidity. So in a perfect world, the bodies should stay inside that orange box. If it makes it and mounts a run into this closing price here, not interested. Does that mean the rest of the day is a dud? Not necessarily. It just means that I would personally lose interest in the morning session, and then I would look either for a lunch run between 11:30 and 1:30, or come back around 1:30 and see what they have for the PM session into the close. But these averages they're all over the place. Hmm. So it's the wrong color. As you go. Wrong side of the line. So we're able to clean those up. Pulling outside the lines on a day where it's decoupled, where the averages are not agreeing, that's okay. I'll accept that and still expect it to go lower. It's a little hard to take as a brand new student because you want perfection, and perfection's going to be elusive on days like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just simply have this line highlighted and take some of these lines off that's in the opening range gap. I'll just borrow this low because it's real close to. Actually, it's not going to let me use it. There you go. That'll work. And then we'll take this off here. Cleans it up a little bit. So that sell side's been engaged there. Next order of business is there. And then the primary sell side, which is at 758's low. So now we've left this inversion fair value gap again, came back, touched the low of it. Any retracements, preferably none now, needs to stay out of the upper half here. And then we want to see accelerations, black stretched out limousines going a little bit deeper than that low because this is a little, you know, it's a little anemic for a run on that liquidity below there. So I would like to see it accelerate, go through that a little bit more. Also, engage the low of that daily suspension block, which is that gray box shaded area here. So I realize for some of you that are brand new, that seems like a whole lot. It's a whole lot of stuff, but it's pertinent. It matters. I just want to see if Dow still it's still hanging down there. MES, its sell side's right here. So for the folks who are looking for that, that's the business there. It's not interested on the upside. Me personally, I'm not interested on the upside, but it can make me out to be wrong today. See how ugly it is? This is decoupling. This is what it looks like when the averages are not agreeing. Makes it very, very, very difficult to get a very strong read on. Turn to first into fair value gap. That's this. That candlestick's low. That candlestick's high. Trade up into that. This would be like the last line in the sand for anyone expecting lower prices. It would need to do it on this candle or the next and start really showing its hand lower. Hmm. Flower seeds, in case you're wondering what that noise was. Vitamin E, baby. Hmm. Wonder if they want to take that high out and keep running it, and then everybody else catches up later. This high and this high. Look at that compared to MNQ. Higher. ES did not join in that rally higher high. And the Dow just fell out of bed. So I don't like to place a whole lot of emphasis on the divergence between the Dow because there's only 30 stocks that make that composite index up. So it's not all that relevant to me. But when they're all three doing whatever they want to do, that drops your probability in terms of accuracy, precision, falls right out. It doesn't exist. So then now you're left to very, very strong convictions. And most of you that are brand new, you don't know what to have strong convictions on. So it makes it very gambling like. And we don't gamble. It has to be high probability. It has to be things that lend well to one sidedness. So that way we can see clearly what they're aiming for. Now, if this was Thursday, not a Friday, I would have entertained the idea of looking for longs continued higher on NQ, but not on a Friday, not against the divergence that's been created, not against the gap that hasn't been really traded into deep enough for my liking. And we left the lows at CPI still intact. So that's usually like a big bullseye, a draw, basically. So you can see how we used that wick again, put it up into it, couldn't get to the high of that, which is this candlestick's open. We want to see more meaningful drive underneath this low here. Deeper sell side exists in here, and then right underneath these lows. That's where the midpoint of today's regular trading hours opening range gap is, or consequent encouragement. So anyway, while we're watching this, let me tell you what happened this morning. Obviously, if you follow me on X, some goober, I don't know what he was thinking, but literally came out and threatened to shoot me and another person, ICT underscore concepts kit, literally on a tweet. Dude, like that's like you're nuts. Don't do that kind of stuff. Number one, I'm not scared. So go fuck yourself. But this morning, listen to this. I take my son to work. Okay, my youngest. I drop him off. I'm pulling out of the parking lot of the establishment. Plenty of room. There's two lanes, and I'm turning out to the right side. Okay, in the right hand lane. I got plenty of room. There's about 20 car lengths to the left where this guy's coming down. And as I'm in the right hand lane, he comes flying up faster than he was driving before, pulls up like right next to the car and almost sideswipes it. And he's screaming and hollering, yelling at me and going nuts. And I'm looking at him like, are you crazy? So normally, you know how it is with me, right? So I stop. He stops. He's got a red light though. I'm in the merging lane into another busier highway. And he's cussing and ranting and raving and cussing and ranting and raving. We both have our windows up, right? So I want to let him know, look, if we're going to have a conversation, I'll get out and have the conversation. And I open up the door, take my seatbelt off. I look back, and he's already got his weapon drawn right at me, point blank and towards my face. Now, we're not point blank in striking distance, but this dude's got his gun straight at my face. So, of course, I'm still sitting in the car, and I'm like, "Are you effing crazy? Are you effing crazy? Look where you're at. Everybody sees what you're doing. Everybody sees what you're doing right now. F, 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 screaming and hollering. Older guy. Now, at this point, I already realized he's probably scared shitless because I opened up the door. But I'm not getting out of it. And the one day I don't bring a friend with me, this is that day. So it could have got extremely way out of um, normal. So he's screaming and hollering, and then he puts his gun down and grabs his cell phone, and he's dialing. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, this guy's loony as shit. So what's he gonna do? Is he calling the police on me? Because all I've done was like, look, you almost hit my car. Are you okay? Are you crazy? And you draw your weapon on me? So I just gave him the middle finger and drove off. He's hammering on his horn because he's stuck behind a car in front of him and cars behind, so he can't get out. I'm convinced that the guy would have probably followed me. So let this be a message to you. This is a public service announcement. If people want to act crazy, just keep driving because I could have been on the news today. I could have been on the news today. You know, an older guy shoots another man, you know, in Bel Air, Maryland. Crazy people, crazy town. I mean, he was the aggressor. All I was doing was just driving down the road. But all this did was teach me I should have brought what I should have brought, and I didn't bring it with me. So that's the lesson I took from it. If you got heat, keep yourself warm. Just say it like that. 'Cause people are losing their fucking minds now. No fear. Came back here and still live stream, bitch. So anyway, I'm going to call this session here. It's not really doing anything that is meaningful for me. This is cast one more pass through on. You got to know when to pull it, folks. I mean, if you want to stay out here all day, that's your business. But it's Friday. It's still heavy on Dow. Let me ask one more time. You're wondering, did I get his tag? No, I didn't get his tag because I was next to him, in the car behind him, and the car in front of him. Like he was, obviously he was in a hurry getting somewhere today. But if he was willing to pull out his gun like that, I'm not going to get out and to try to take a picture of his tag. I drove up the road slow enough in case he did want to follow me. The Highlander has it has a webcam, not a webcam. Oh yeah, I guess it would be a webcam or a dash cam rather. Only in the reverse window. So I'll have to go through that and see if it picked it up, but I doubt it because I came out when he was like way down the road. We'll see if that's in there. If it does, I'll be going over to the Maryland precinct and filing a report brandishing a firearm against me. That's offense. That puts you in jail. But yeah, that's going to be it for me this morning. I wish it was better, cleaner price action because I would have been able to spend some time with you and show you some stuff. But you can see clearly this is what decoupling looks like. Okay. Gun in my head, no pun intended. I still think that we may want to clean up the CPI lows. Okay. So that might be all you get. It may not even get down to this low, or I might be wrong. It goes even lower. Okay. But as it is right now, if I was waiting to take a trade, I would have lost all interest in doing so. None of this bodes well for a Friday. And you do what you want to do with it. I'm going to wish you all a very pleasant and relaxing weekend. I'll have something for you in the form of a review later on this evening. And then we'll do some chit chatting over the weekend with a Twitter space, a Shotgun Saturday. Until I talk to you then, be safe.